Hello, my cousins. I'm Barry Hilton, and you are watching Joburg Today.
The Office of the Ombudsman for the City of Johannesburg is going back to basics, educating Joburgers on its role as the Office of Last Instance. And this is for the record.
The Ombudsman, as an office, is set up or is established in terms of a bylaw of council. The bylaw says the Ombudsman investigates complaints of maladministration. Maladministration is a very big concept, okay? But it includes things like a lack of accountability by officials, a lack of accountability by the administration, employees, maltreatment of the public, because we know it happens. People come in, they wait in queues, long queues, and they go back without having received service. So, how does the Ombudsman help with those issues? The Ombudsman investigates complaints, right? So somebody comes and complains to the Ombudsman. Say, Ombudsman, I've just received this SMS now that I'm going to be cut off on Friday if I don't pay 50% of this 100,000 rand. I don't have this money. The Ombudsman then says, okay, look, have you engaged with the city? And they say, maybe I haven't, or maybe I have. It's better if they say they have, because then they've taken the initiative. The Office of the Ombudsman is really an office of last instance, okay? My staff complement is smaller in relation to the city. The city has up 30,000 people in it. I have like 50, all right? So I have to move 30,000 people to act. It's not easy. So that's why we say, start with the city. There are 30,000 people there. There are people who are employed to look after you. Okay. It's only when they don't look after you that you can escalate to the Ombudsman. Why is that important? It's important to have a friend. Ombudsman is a friend of the people. You have someone on the inside, and not just an individual, an entire office, headed by me, looking after you. When something comes from the Ombudsman, it's one thing when you lodge your own complaint on the side and you want help. You might get help, you might not get help. And sometimes help is not as forthcoming as you want it to be. But when you have a friend inside the Ombudsman, we already know people, we already understand how the administration functions. Because we must accept that the administration is huge and can be impersonal at the best of times, can be impersonal and inaccessible to the ordinary person who is battling a bill of 100,000 rand, for example. So that creates a great platform for relief. It's no longer you against the administration, it's you, a friend inside, who is listened, who is recognized by the administration as being an important platform.
Now, having said that, what becomes the turnaround rate for cases that you handle?
It depends on the nature of the case. Some cases are very easy to resolve, quick to resolve. Others can tend to be a little more involved. The maximum, in terms of how we have our own internal standard operating procedure, we say that we would like to commit to a resolution of 6 months. So within 6 months, we should have, on a big case, we should have resolution for you. I'm aware that there are cases that may have gone beyond that, but that's a commitment we make, that we will endeavor to resolve within 6 months. Obviously, on urgent cases, I know we have done it. We resolve immediately in some cases. So you can't I can't say it will take us 1 week to resolve. It depends on the nature of the case, but the important thing is that if it is within our jurisdiction, it will be handled. There are processes that we've established that are in place. it should be handled, you will get feedback regularly, and you can call in also. You know, there is an office, there's a telephone number, there's an email address. Now you know the Ombudsman. You can phone the Ombudsman himself, and the Ombudsman will, you know, I may not run with the case myself, but I know I have a structure that I've set up, there are people that are employed, and I ask questions. What's happening with that case? What's happening with that case? I've just received an inquiry. So that's how it works.
For you, what are the challenges that you're now facing, and how are you trying to rectify those?
What I have seen is that people don't know about the Office of the Ombudsman. That's what I'm hearing. That people don't know that there is such an office that can assist them in their daily lives with municipal issues. I mean, sometimes we have to explain to people that, you know, we don't, there are things we can investigate, there are things we can't investigate, there are things within our jurisdiction, there are things outside of our jurisdiction, and it's all set out in the bylaw. Sometimes people go to court, take the city to court, and they come back. You can't come back. Once you're in court, we can't interfere with those issues. Or there are issues that are not, by their very nature or definition, are not municipal issues. But people hear Ombudsman and they think we can bring anything to the Ombudsman. Somebody asked me recently about whether we can help with home affairs issues. We can't help with home affairs issues because the city of Joburg does not handle home affairs issues, okay? Sometimes we bring issues from other jurisdictions like Tshwane and Ekurhuleni, and you say, but we are the Office of the Ombudsman for the city of Johannesburg. So we can only resolve or help you with issues relating to the city of Johannesburg. So what I have decided to do now, or what we have decided as an office, is to introduce a program, a pilot. It's a pilot for now, which will run for about 18 months. We'll make decisions towards the end of that period. We have recently launched an ambassadors program, okay? Ambassadors of the Ombudsman. Based in the regions, they will be doing work for the Ombudsman. So they will be talking to people about what the Office of Ombudsman does. There is all the regions have complaints boxes. They will man those complaints boxes. They will help people complete the complaints form. And then they will take those forms to the center. I say the center being Braamfontein, where we are based. And we will process those complaints from there. And they will provide feedback. I mean, we provide written feedback, but we understand that there are people who are not on email. So they can go back to the office of the ambassador of the Ombudsman in the regions, closest to where they live. So they don't have to come through to town, to Braamfontein. Wherever they are, there will be an office of the Ombudsman there in the form of ambassadors of the Ombudsman.
What is your commitment to the residents of Joburg?
To serve. Really, it is to serve. It may sound like something that, you know, an official will say, but it really is to serve and to be available to them, to be there for the people when they need me most. Because, as I said, it is often when there are problems. And when you are in that kind of environment where your electricity is going to be cut off, where your water is going to be closed off, and you will not have water over the weekend, or you will not have electricity over the weekend, and all your food in the fridge is going to go stale, or you don't have hot water in winter, you need an ombudsman. So my promise and commitment to the people of Johannesburg is to be there and to care